Hi beautiful, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I am going to finally try the Jackie Aina and Anastasia Beverly Hills collaboration. I've been trying to put this eyeshadow palette off, but then I went to make a store yesterday and I just have to purchase it, mainly because of the packaging. It's so pretty, it's very glamorous, it's very OTT, but I love it. It comes in this good embossed material. Again, classic Anastasia Beverly Hills eyeshadow palette. This is what the eyeshadow palette looks like. I am not even going to try and swatch these shades because by this time there's probably already like 10,000 different reviews and swatches on this eyeshadow palette. I'm only here to try the eyeshadow shades on my eyes and see if it's blendable, if it's up to standards, and if it works. The shades in this eyeshadow palette is great because you have a range of pinks and browns and warm browns and greens, and you also have the classic like gold shimmer, champagne shimmer, and bronze taupey shimmers, which definitely is a staple for everyday. I think I am going to go for more purple, so I'm going to stick to maybe this 4 shades right here. So to prime my eyes, I'm going to use the Anastasia Beverly Hills Eye Primer. This came out recently as well. So I'm going to squirt a little bit on the back of my hands. I already did my face for this because I want to focus more on the eye. I'm not going to put a lot of eye primer because the eye primer has got more of like a pinky white base. I actually like to set my eye primer, so I'm just gonna quickly dip into a translucent powder and put a thin layer of powder on the eyes because my eyes tend to crease and it has a bit of dry patches, so I like the eyeshadows to blend seamlessly. I find that if I set my lids, that's where I get a good blend. And excuse this area right here, we're going to cover that with a shimmer shadow. It's because that's like a weird eczema patch that I have. This is going to be tricky, but I think I am going to maybe start with pinker, which is this shade right here, and I'm going to put that on the outer V, and I'm going to go all the way to the inner corner. So at the moment I'm just packing the shades, and it's very pigmented. A little goes a very long way, so if you want like a smooth gradient, I would suggest that you dip into the eyeshadow palette and tap off the excess before you go straight into your lids, because the shades can get quite overwhelming, but honestly it blends very smoothly. I'm taking just a teeny tiny bit on my brush and I still have a little bit of pigment. Personally, I don't mind a little bit of powderiness on the eyeshadow palette because this just means that it's pigmented. I am going to deepen my outer V a little bit with this purple shade called Big Wig. Oops, this one right here. I'm going to use the same brush and focus that more on the lower part of the eye and just under the crease area, because I want the pinker to show, but I don't want Big Wig to cover it entirely. And I'm going to put that right into the crease and then inner part of the eye. It's kind of hard blending on this eye because I have that huge patch and the eyeshadow tends to cling on the patch. I'm going to move into a smaller brush, this one right here, and I'm going to use Big Wig and intensify that crease area and go into the lid a little bit. See how the pinker shade is still poking through? If you're wondering what kind of brush this is actually from the art store. It's the brand Casaneo and it's in number 6. And I believe this is sable hair, and it's great for precision blending, especially around the crease area. I love it, and I have been using it heaps. I am going to go back to the original brush that we use and pick up Pinker once again and blend the outer V. Again, I don't want to lose big wig, so I'm just gonna blend on the outer part of the eyes because we already established the placement of big wig. And I'm going to use a somewhat cleaner brush to softly blend. And for the lower lash line, I am going to go and use Pinker and pop that on the lower lash line and going down a little bit. And I'm going to use a tiny brush and I'm going to go and use big wig and kind of tight line around this area right here. For the inner part of the eyes, I really want to use the shade Shookington, so I'm going to use a flat brush. I am not going to apply any more eye primer. I'm just going to use the brush that I used to apply the eye primer beforehand to pack on the color. And see that negative space that we have? I'm just going to pop Shookington in that area. Apply more big wig to blend Shookington. To apply a little bit of Soleil, which is this one right here. It has a little bit of a pinky gold, and I'm going to pop just a teeny tiny bit on top so the purple can have a little bit of dimension. Now for the inner corner, I really want to use this shade called Dollars, which is like a green gold. And I'm going to pick up a pencil brush. It's more like a pressed pigment. Oh dear. So obsessed with this eyeshadow look. So I'm just gonna take a little bit of Supreme, just a teeny tiny bit, and kind of blend the outer bits because I could still see like the eye primer. Oh my goodness, here is the final eyeshadow makeup look. So I'm just gonna quickly apply my mascara and then put on my lips, and then I will share with you swatches of my favorite shades maybe and my final verdict. Here is my final makeup look. I am so obsessed with this eyeshadow makeup look. I really do love a good purple eyeshadow, but this makeup look takes it into a whole nother level. Like, I don't have so many different shades of purples and reds in one eyeshadow palette, and for me this is perfect. And I actually love this eyeshadow shade called Dollars because it looks like a green gold from the pan, but when you actually mix it in with different shades such as purple, it pulls off a little bit more like peachy gold. It's quite hard to explain, but it has a hint of peach, a little bit of green, and a little bit of gold at the same time, which is quite interesting. And this is the swatch right here. Another shade that I love is obviously Shookington, which is I use on my lid. It's a very nice metallic purple. You could definitely get away with applying the shade sheer, or if you want to really pack it on. I kind of did a in-between application, so therefore I came out with this look. This shade right here called Zam, oh my gosh. It's more like a pressed pigment, and oh, that's just like the perfect rose gold shade. And it complements different skin types. So you can see right there. So for me, it comes off a little bit like peachy bronze, but if you have lighter skin tone, it might come off different. Another shade that is quite different from the usual shades that we normally get is this shade called Sponsored. Now, if you look at it on the screen or from the pan, it's like a mossy green, but it actually have a taupey undertone to it. On different lighting, it can shift from like red to green. I typically call this kind of shade a chameleon shade because it could translate on different skin tones, on different application methods. Overall, I really like this eyeshadow palette. A big congrats to Jackie Aina, which is probably the first influencer that had a big collab with Anastasia Beverly Hills. I really love this eyeshadow palette. This is going to be my #1 look. I am going to try and do or replicate Jackie Aina's signature green smoky eye on the next video. Of course, if you pair it with the Anastasia Beverly Hills eye primer, it would be better. Next video, I might try and apply it with a concealer to see if it works just as good. Thank you so much for watching. Please let me know if you have tried the eyeshadow palette, what you think of it, and I will catch you on the next video. Bye!